What's up with y'all? It's your boy TC, otherwise known as T Dog. I know it's been a minute, but that's because America. Uh, so if you didn't know, okay, this is mainly a car channel, and January I joined the United States Army. So pretty much I'm just about to talk about my experience at Fort Sill, going through basic training at Fort Sill during COVID and during this terrible winter. So I don't really have that great of memory when it comes to recollecting events. So I pretty much had a mini journal or whatever that I wrote in and everything, compiling most important things. I start off writing it daily, and then I misplaced it until I found it. Then I just started writing down the key points and everything, and I compiled it down into like some sort of essay. And pretty much I'm gonna be reading off up here and kind of talk about my experience here at Fort Sill during COVID and during this terrible winter. Okay, so Fort Sill, otherwise known as Fort Chill. I heard it called Fort Chill before I came here. I don't know if that's because it was kind of chill, which it was, but no, that's not it. Windy as hell. So pretty much I'm just gonna start from the beginning. So the day I left MEPS for the airport, I missed my flight. I had a tube of toothpaste in my pocket that they wouldn't let me take on the plane. Why? Because I was cleaning my mouth at the end, and I had already put my bag up, and they took it before I could get back to it and load it up on the plane. I tried to put it in my bag, which was already loaded, and security changed shifts right at the time I was about to board, so I got delayed. My flight was rescheduled the next day. I made it to OKC from Georgia and sat at the airport all day. Upon making it to Fort Sill, we began processing, which lasted from around 7:30 p.m. to 1 or 2 a.m. There were delayed buses arriving. Half the time we sat outside. We got about 2 hours of sleep before waking up around 6 a.m. We ate MREs outside in the freezing cold. It actually wasn't MREs, it was those little snack boxes or whatever. And bear in mind, I'm from Mississippi. So the temp was around 35 degrees. We typically don't get that. It's very rare we get that cold of a temp. We had processing from January 6th all the way to about January 15th. A few people from our first group got pulled at the COVID testing, and then we had people arrive from Task Force Phoenix, which is Fort Sill's quarantine battery. BCT was compressed, so pretty much you have the first 2 weeks were C1 and C2, which is the controlled monitoring phase, otherwise known as yellow phase. And instead of the hammer, anvil, and forge being, I think there originally was supposed to be like a week to 2 weeks, they're only just a couple or a few days because of COVID, and they was just really getting everything rolling back around. They kind of shortened everything. I didn't contract COVID, so I didn't get recycled. You really not getting recycled. I mean, it's a possibility that you can, a possibility that you won't, but I didn't get recycled. First, second, and third platoons were male only due to COVID, but we later integrated 4th platoon females, and the platoons got rearranged. So they organized it by name. So like A through C were first platoon, then they kind of broke it down, that way. On January 23rd, we took our ACLT 1111 assessment. Due to the lack of proper stretching, my hamstrings were sore the entire cycle. So the day that they kind of demonstrated on how we were going to do the ACFT, when we finished, they had us to run from the pull-up bars back to the drill pad, and it was cold, and we didn't do any type of stretching. So I ran track 5-6 years ago. I graduated 5-6 years ago, and in 10th grade I injured one of my hamstrings. In 11th grade I injured the other one, and they haven't properly healed. I don't really do much rehab on them. I pretty much just stretch, and I don't really have any problems with my legs. If I stretch, I don't have problems with my legs as long as I stretch. But yeah, so pretty much the entire cycle, I've been having problems with my legs. January 25th was the start of the first 72. So the first 72 is in the name. It's the first 72 hours of red phase. I can't really go into detail about a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna probably mention it, but I'm not going to go into details because I'm not allowed to, technically. But there are some things that I can't tell you, like give you tips and everything. So keep your lockers locked. I repeat, keep your lockers locked. Make sure you get your PT clothes together the night before. Hang them up in your locker, get them situated and everything. All your hygiene stuff, your like your toothbrush, your toothpaste, your towels and everything. Have that stuff sitting in your locker, out and ready. Trust me, have that stuff ready before you wake up in the morning. So when they tell you to go open your locker and go grab this and that, trust me, that's all I can really tell you. Yeah, and be prepared to get smoked. Corrective training or corrective action. January 28th, we had the medical training lanes and weapons training. The temperature was between 18 and 23 degrees. Again, I'm from Mississippi. We don't really see that cold weather. On February 1st, we had our first official ACLT. My maximum deadlift, they only really let you do the bare minimum for most of the stuff for the first ACLT. So my maximum deadlift was 140 pounds, which is 160 points. My standing power throw was 8 meters, which was 70 points. Hand release push-ups, 10 meters, 10 push-ups with 60 points. Sprint drag carry was 1:42, which is 96 points. I did 5 leg tucks, which was 70 points. And my 2-mile run was 20 minutes and 43 seconds. Yes, 20 minutes, 43 seconds, which is 60 points. You got to beat 21 minutes for the 2-mile. Bad legs and pretty much bad cardio. I do not have good cardio. I was a short distance sprinter. Long distance, I freaking hate it. They only had, like I said, they only had to do the bare minimum on the hand release push-ups and the maximum deadlift. The next day we did COC, which is the, I forget what it means. It's the confidence obstacle course. Treadwell Tower was still in construction, so unfortunately we didn't get to do Treadwell Tower. And the day after that was the gas chamber. Okay, when we did the COC, we had a competition after that, and my platoon won. I didn't put that in like my little essay summary, but I have it written down here. But pretty much all our courses that we did, we had competitions after that, and my platoon, first platoon, won the COC. The day after that was the gas chamber. It wasn't that bad. So when I went through the gas chamber, pretty much they're gonna kind of have you do exercising and stuff, make you sweat a little bit, try to get your lungs and stuff working, and they're going to be preparing the gas in another room. So you have the cold side and you have the hot side. Not gonna spoil too much or say too much, because there are some things that I know that I can't say, and there are some things that I don't know if I can or cannot say, but you will be able to see a lot of videos on this stuff on YouTube. But yeah, so pretty much they had us doing this and that, and when they made me take my mask off, they're gonna make you take your mask off at the end, and they might have you do different things or try to say different things. They try to maybe say the Soldier's Creed. So put my mask off. I am an and they just shoved me right out the door. It really is not that bad. A lot of people are kind of scared when they go through it. I was kind of nervous at first, but when I was actually going through with it, and then when I finished, I actually wanted to go back through it again, but I wasn't gonna do that to myself. Let's see. We run 2 miles back to the battery after that. On the 4th, we went to the electronic weapons range. I forgot exactly what it's called. Is it EST, I think, or something like that. Pretty much it's a simulator on how you would, shoot when you go out to the actual weapons range. It's pretty much just computerized and everything, just so you can kind of get the feel of it before you actually get out there and go shoot. The day after that, on the 5th, we run 5 miles to the hammer. Sleep wasn't until 1 a.m. and we slept without tents. So, for whatever reason, there was a different battery out there, and they were using tents, but my battery does not use tents. So pretty much we just had to go out there, sleep in sleeping bags, and it was cold. I freaking hate the cold, and I'm probably gonna reiterate that. I hate the freaking cold. Let's see. We did our training the next day, and then we worked back. So we were only there for like 2 days. Like again, they shortened everything, so we were there for like 2 days. On the 8th, we went to the firing range, but it was so cold that the targets were frozen, and the drill sergeants couldn't mark them. So I want to say 3rd platoon, maybe 1 platoon went out there. They started to shoot, but the targets were frozen and everything, so they couldn't. The drill sergeants couldn't group in zero and everything. Well, we were just trying to group that day, I believe, but they couldn't mark the targets because they were frozen. So we wound up actually leaving like an hour or 2 after just getting there, and we were sitting outside in a tent, trying to stay warm. Let's see. The next day was the beginning of the snowstorm. We had snow from the 10th to about the 20th. On the 20th, we rucked 3 miles around the brigade. Then we shoveled snow. On the 23rd was group 0, but it was so cold that we left. The 24th, they had to get the entire battery group 0, maybe only 8. Actually didn't. We had qualifications the very next day, and we run 7.5 miles there. Artillery was firing mortars over our heads, so the whole time we're out there shooting, they're out there shooting our rounds, over our heads and everything. It's pretty fun and everything, just hearing the explosions and stuff. And then if I didn't say this, I'm a 94 Mike radar repair, so this is field artillery base. I'm in ordnance, so yeah, kind of dealing with demolition, but it's not. I'm not gonna spoil nothing. So on the 26th, we rushed to the anvil. We came back on the 28th, and on March 1st, we did the 3rd ACLT. We missed the 2nd ACLT due to the snow. So it snowed, and we missed 2 weeks of training. My maximum deadlift was 280 pounds, 86 points. Sprint, that's standing power throw, 7.8 meters, 69 points. Hand release push-ups, I did 4 to 1, 81 points. Sprint drag carry was 2 minutes and 2 seconds, 78 points. Leg tucks, I did 11 for 84 points. 2 mile run, 20 minutes, 36 seconds for 61 points. That sprint drag carry is hell. I'm trying to tell you, that sprint drag carry is hell. Because once you start to drag the dang on weights across, just be prepared, because my legs felt like noodles. On March 2nd, hand grenades. So that's where I stopped actually writing and there and onto my journal. March 4th was when we did the Butter Team live fire practice, and we went back to Vesta Hall. Well, I went back to Vesta Hall to finish some of my processing. And like when we finished with the hand grenades, okay, so I want to say this was right before blue phase. It's right before blue phase, and a lot of our drill sergeants were moving to different batteries. Um, the exact reason is unknown. I think they were saying it was a lot of stuff going around, so they're kind of moving drill sergeants just try to see if they can fix some situations that were going on. And one of my drill sergeants that was leaving, he just came out of nowhere and he talked to us for a little minute. Then all we heard was half right face, and he was like, "When I say down, you say peanut butter. When I say up, you say jelly." And he was explaining to us, afterwards that peanut butter and jelly is his favorite sandwich, which is my favorite sandwich. The next day, March 5th, was when we actually did the butter team live fire. March 6th was when we did the final evaluation. Medical training lanes were easy. Let's see, we did squad on squad tactics, and my squad were the ambushers. We did hand signals, gas masks, jazz list, and radios. March 7th was when we got our platoon clothing and everything, all this stuff. So, 1st Platoon, Pick Bulls, Delta Battery, 1st Battalion, 40th Field Artillery. It was pretty much a chill day. We ain't really do nothing. March 9th, we run 11.5 miles to the forge. It was pretty much laid back. We didn't do much. We had some training here and there and everything. We wrecked 11.5 miles to the forge. Training was laid back. The wind was howling all day and night. We had naked night. Naked night sucked ass. It really wasn't naked night. Naked night without the fire. Real live fire. March 10th. Woke up about 4 a.m. Left around 5. We run about 3 miles to the shoot range, to the stress shoot, and everything. And again, artillery was shooting over our heads. The next day we woke up, we're training. About 7:30, we got ready for the final ruck, which was the gauntlet and everything. And probably let y'all just look that up. And a bit of time passed, and we did our soldier ceremony. March 12th, Friday, we cleaned all our CIF equipment. We get ready to turn it in. We did the warrior meal, and I freaking got COVID. So popped up positive for COVID. I went to task force, Phoenix, and pretty chill. I was there for like 10 days. The first 4 days, didn't have our phone. Finally got our phones. It was like prison until we got our phones. Pretty much laid it back just on our phones and everything. Graduation was on March 19th. So because I was at the task force, I didn't actually walk across the stage, but completed all the requirements, and so still graduated. That was pretty much kind of it. And a few days later, I left, and now I'm here across the tracks. Still at Fort Sill in my AIT. 10 months. So I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm supposed to start classes Monday. Don't know. Just got to wait to see. And I don't have my car, but because my AIT is more than 20 weeks, I would be allowed to get my car once I phase up to phase 5+, which is probably gonna take some time. Don't know, but hopefully don't take long. But pretty much Fort Sill is freaking windy all day, every day, and I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. But pretty much during all of basic training from about January 20th, temp was below 40 almost all day, every day, and it got to like below 10 degrees. I ain't never experienced nothing like that there in my life, and I tell you, it was freaking miserable doing training out there in that weather. It freaking sucked. But overall, it's pretty much a cool place. Pretty much just depends on your drill sergeant. I guess you get here, like, just do what you're told. Don't play around. Know when to play and when to be serious. Because there were some people in my platoon that was childish. They didn't want to listen. They just play it all the time. You try to talk to them in a cool manner, tell them to calm down, and it just makes it worse. And I heard that while I was at task force, they really got effed up because they were being stupid. But I mean, it's pretty chill, pretty laid back, and my AIT over here is pretty chill, pretty laid back. So this might be the most laid back AIT, so I've heard. And supposedly it's supposed to have the highest graduation rate in all of the bases, so I've been told. But eventually, when I get my car out here, I'll be able to hopefully start making more videos and everything. Get back to making car videos. I might have both of my cars here. Right now, the 86 is my homeboy is on his way to Georgia. Gonna pick it up to go take it back home, and I'm gonna try to see if he can get it back running because I had a power issue right before I came and I never got it solved. But hopefully he'll be able to get that squared away, and then whenever I do get my cars up here, everything will be set. But until then, every now and then I might have more content. I should have more videos on my phone. I gotta go through and find my videos, and if I got some stuff to upload, then that's just gonna be what I'm gonna do until I actually get my cars up here. But until then,